All right, let's talk about something that gets almost all of us, procrastination. We're going to dive into some amazing research from Timothy Pychyl's book, Solving the Procrastination Puzzle. Together, we're going to figure out what procrastination really is, why it costs us so much, and maybe most importantly, the surprising reason we all keep falling into its trap.
Okay, let me ask you something, and be honest. Are you watching this right now to put off doing something else? Hey, it's okay, no judgment here. If you are, you're actually in the perfect headspace to understand the very habit you're in the middle of. So, first things first, right? To really get this, we've got to reset what we think we know about procrastination. Because, spoiler alert, it's probably not what you think it is. Here's the starting point. We all put things off. I mean, you have to, that's just life. And this is so important, not every single delay counts as procrastination. In fact, sometimes putting something off is the smartest thing you can possibly do. Yeah, this slide breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have wise delay. The book talks about a working mom named Maria. If her kid gets sick, she puts off her work files. Is that procrastination? Of course not. That's just being a good parent. But then, look at the other side. That's procrastination. It's when you choose to delay something for no good reason, even when that little voice in your head is telling you, hey, this is probably a bad idea. So here it is, the official research-backed definition. It's all about that gap, the gap between what you intend to do and what you actually do. It's that moment where you know what you should be doing, you totally can do it, but you still make the active choice to put it off, knowing it's probably going to come back to bite you. I just love this comic because it perfectly captures that internal fight. The path forward is right there, it's totally clear, but something inside us just turns away. That feeling, that reluctance, that's the real barrier. And it's sneaky because it becomes a habit before we even know it. Which brings us to the big central piece of the puzzle. If this is a choice we're making, a voluntary thing, then why does it cause so many problems? Why does it feel so bad? So let's dig into that. Because the hidden costs of procrastination, well, they go way, way beyond a simple missed deadline or a late project. This quote from the book is, wow. It just stops you in your tracks. It totally reframes the entire issue. Suddenly, this isn't about tasks anymore. It's about the actual time of our lives that we're letting slip through our fingers. The research really boils it down to 3 major costs. Number 1, lower achievement. Yeah, we all have that one story of an all-nighter that worked out, but the data is pretty clear. On average, our performance suffers. Number 2, more negative feelings. You'd think avoiding a task would be a relief, but usually it just brings this heavy cloud of guilt and anxiety. And third, and this is the one that shocks people, it can lead to actual, significant health problems. So how in the world does that work? Well, it's kind of a 1-2 punch. First, you have that constant low-level stress from knowing you should be doing something else, and that stress can literally weaken your immune system. And second, if you're the kind of person who puts off work, you probably also put off healthy stuff like exercise or making a doctor's appointment. And over time, that really adds up. But maybe the heaviest cost of all is the regret of omission. It's not about the mistakes we made. It's about the things we genuinely wanted to do, the book we wanted to write, the skills we wanted to learn, that we just never got around to. It goes right back to that idea of failing to get on with life itself. Okay, so we get it. We know what it is. We know it's a huge problem. But the biggest piece of this puzzle is still missing. What is the real deep down reason we knowingly do this to ourselves? This brings us right to the absolute core of it all, the big reveal. And I'll tell you right now, it is almost certainly not what you think. Let's just get one thing straight right away. All that self-talk about being lazy, the research shows that is not the root cause. So you can let yourself off the hook for that one. And what about time management? All the planners and apps, they're useful tools for sure. But procrastination isn't just a scheduling problem. You can have the most beautiful, organized calendar in the world and still put things off. So here it is, the crucial point. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. And this quote, this is the whole shebang right here. We give in to feel good. When a task makes us feel bad, whether it's bored, anxious, frustrated, whatever, we put it off simply to get a little hit of immediate relief. We're just trying to fix our mood right now. Just think about that cycle. The task makes you feel bad. Putting it off makes that bad feeling go away. That feeling of relief, that's a reward.
And our brains are wired to repeat any behavior that gets a reward. And boom, that's it. That's how the habit loop gets locked in. We're not lazy, we're just seeking relief.
So now that we know the real reason, what on earth do we do about it? Well, let's talk about one simple but incredibly powerful first step you can take to start breaking that cycle. The key here is to not expect perfection. The goal is not to magically wake up tomorrow and be a productivity machine. The very first and most important step is to simply become aware of the habit, to drag it out of the unconscious into the conscious light. The book lays out a really simple 3-step practice. Step 1, just notice you're doing it. Catch yourself in the act. Step 2, be specific. What's the exact task you're avoiding? And step 3, this is the real game changer. Name the feeling. Acknowledge why you're avoiding it. Just saying to yourself, I'm putting off this report because I'm feeling really anxious about it. That is a massive step. And why is that so powerful? Because it shatters the automatic, autopilot nature of the habit. The moment you become aware of that emotional trigger, you introduce a choice. You're no longer just reacting, you're observing. And that simple act of observation is the first essential piece you need to solve the puzzle and start taking your control back. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Knowing that procrastination isn't just about missing deadlines, but about potentially missing out on your own life, what's one thing, just one small part of your life, that you will choose to get on with today?